Okay, this video shows how to plot inequalities on a graph and state the region that satisfies the inequalities. So this wants you to, on the grid, clearly indicate the region that satisfies all these inequalities. So we have these three inequalities, and what we have to do is we have to plot these three lines on a graph. So it has an inequality sign, but we just plot it as if it was x equals 3. Okay, so the line of x equals 3 is a line which crosses the x-axis at 3. So it's a vertical graph. So I'm going to put that in. Okay, and I'm going to put it in as a solid line because it's x is greater than or equal to 3. If it was just greater than 3, I would put in a dotted line, but because it's greater than or equal to, I put in a solid line. The next one I'm going to plot is y is equal to 1 for now, just the graph y equal to 1, and that is drawn where the y-axis, where it cuts the y-axis at 1. Okay, so that is a horizontal graph. Now the graph is and equal to, so I'm going to be drawing another solid line. Okay, so that's 2 of the 3 graphs drawn. Now this is the kind of graph that pupils find complicated to draw, but it's really, really simple because you can use what we call the cover-up method. And what that entails is you cover up one of the values. So if I cover up the x, okay, I'm basically saying that when x equals 0, because I'm covering up, then my y value, I just solve the other part. So my y value equals 5. Okay, so that's one of my coordinates I'm going to plot. So when x is 0, y is 5. So I'm going to put it there. Okay, and then if I go ahead and cover up the y, it's very difficult to do it on here. I'm basically saying when I cover it up that y is 0, and when I cover up the y, then x equals 5. So x equals 5. So that's another coordinate to plot. So when x is 5, y is 0, that's another point to plot. And all I do then is I join those 2 points together. Okay, now that's not the end of the question. That's going to gain you some marks. The other marks come from actually stating the region that applies to all 3 inequalities. So we're looking for where x is greater than 3, greater than or equal to 3. So that means when x is greater than or equal to 3, that means it's basically anything above this line. So we're talking above this line, okay? And then it also needs to satisfy when y is greater than or equal to 1. Y greater than or equal to 1 is anything above this line. So we're now talking anything in this section here at the moment, but it needs to apply to the final inequality as well. Now, we're either going to find that it's in this little triangle here or this part here. Okay, they're the only 2 options. So if I try, say, a point here, so that is when x is 4 and y is 3. If I apply it to this, so 4 plus 3, that's actually greater than 5. It's not less than or equal to 5. So it can't be in this section here. It has to be just this little triangle here that is my region. And normally, I'm not saying all the time, but normally the inequalities form a triangle, and you have to state the region that applies to all 3.